It is 11 a.m. in Toulouse. I'm Monita Rajpal. This is World One, live from London. The standoff between French police and the man they suspect of murdering 4 people at a Jewish school on Monday may be over within an hour. France's interior minister says the suspect has told him he will surrender at midday local time. Police sources have told CNN the man's name is Mohamed Mira. They say he's 24, French, and of Algerian origin. CNN's Diana Magne is at the scene in Toulouse. She joins us now live with more. Diana. Diana, what are people in the neighborhood saying about whether or not they know this man? Have they seen him around in the community? Did they even talk to him?
Being arrested in Kandahar in 2010, we think for a common law offence.
Well, we've spoken to a couple of neighbours, one of them very surprised, obviously, that a raid...
Thank you, Donna Magna, there in Toulouse, in France. And, of course, the shootings come at a politically crucial time for Nicolas Sarkozy, the president of the country. France goes to the polls next month in an election in which the sensitive subjects of immigration and integration have seen a rise in right-wing rhetoric. Jim Bitterman joins us now from CNN Paris. And, Jim, I understand that there have been a news conference that is being held by the Interior Ministry. What are they saying? Before I let you go, Jim, I want to ask you this question in terms of this, as we were saying, this is while all the presidential candidates have made a point to not make this a political issue, one would then assume invariably it will become a political issue.
Well, absolutely, and not only that, at least one candidate has broken ranks this morning, and that's Marine Le Pen.
Of course, we will continue to bring you more from Toulouse as this developing story moves forward. Of course, we've been talking about a standoff that is in its 7th hour. There had been reports that the suspect had agreed to surrender at noon local time. That would be in about 45 minutes or so. But now we understand, according to the Interior Minister, where there was a news conference that was just being held there in Paris, that negotiations have broken off right now. So whether or not that surrender will actually take place remains to be seen. We will, of course, bring you the very latest as we get it. Some other breaking news we want to bring you up to date on. This one coming out of Africa. The Reuters news agency is reporting that Somali pirates have released a British woman kidnapped in Kenya 6 months ago. Regional officials in Somalia say Judith Tebbit has been freed and is taking a flight to Nairobi. Her husband, David Tebbit, was shot dead during the kidnap. Much more still to come here on World One. You're watching CNN. Do stay with us. Syria reports say fighting has erupted this morning in the suburbs of Damascus. Tanks and helicopters have reportedly been spotted on the outskirts of the capital, trying to drive rebels from the city. As fighting rages, the UN Security Council is expected to endorse Special Envoy Kofi Annan's mission to Syria later today. Russia has signaled that it is ready to support the plan, and there are signs Moscow may be running out of patience with Damascus. On Tuesday, Foreign Minister Sergei Lavrov told a Russian radio station that President Bashar al-Assad had made mistakes that may have aggravated the crisis. Lavrov said Syria's regime responded badly to the protests. We often hear accounts of cold-blooded torture and abuse at the hands of Syrian government forces. But now Human Rights Watch says elements of Syria's armed opposition have committed serious rights abuses. We'll bring you more on that story in just a bit. We want to take you now to Paris in France, where the president, Nicolas Sarkozy, is holding a news conference.
I wanted to meet them together.
Short statement there from the president, Nicolas Sarkozy, as he was talking, of course, reacting to the events taking place in the southwestern part of the country in Toulouse, where a 7-hour 20-minute standoff taking place right now. Actually, more than 7 hours, 7.5 hours now taking place there in Toulouse, where a man suspected in the killings of 4 people on Monday, 3 children and a rabbi there at a Jewish school, as well as other killings in less than 2 weeks within the the area. He's suspected of killing people there, in total about 8 people. He's saying we must not give in to revenge. He says there are people confusing between religion and terrorism. Of course, this comes at a very politically sensitive time. The French electorate will go to the polls in just about a month to elect a new French president, and integration, immigration have been huge, as well as religion have been huge issues on the campaign trail, raising, of course, the profile of the right-wing group of the National Front, of course, Marine Le Pen's political party. We will bring you the national parties, I should say. We, of course, will bring you more coming out of Toulouse right now. There has been a lot of speculation, a lot of talk about another banned jihadist group that the suspect is allegedly involved in. We will bring you more on that as we get it. We're turning now to our stories that we are covering as well here on World One. Now, Human Rights Watch is saying that the United Arab Emirates needs to do more to stamp out the exploitation of migrant workers. The group has released a report documenting the treatment of workers on the multi-billion-dollar Saadiyat Island project in Abu Dhabi. It says the conditions for workers have improved dramatically, but many are still being forced to pay recruitment fees that leave them trapped in debt. Others reported having passports confiscated and their work contracts switched for less favorable ones. CNN's Mohammed Jamjoon is following the story for us from the UAE. He joins us now live from Abu Dhabi with more on what kind of reaction there has been to this Human Rights Watch report. Mohammed?
Well, Monita, first let's talk a little bit about this report. Now, this is a follow-up report, a progress report to a report that was released by Human Rights Watch.
Okay, Mohammed, thank you. Mohammed Jamjoon there at CNN Abu Dhabi. You're watching World One. We'll be right back. There is an ongoing situation taking place in Toulouse, France right now, where a 7-hour standoff is stretching out further. There had been reports that the gunman suspected in the killings of 4 people at a Jewish school there on Monday had agreed to surrendering at 12 noon local time in about 40 minutes, just under 40 minutes from now. But according to the Interior Minister at a news conference just moments ago, he said that negotiations had broken off. So at this point, we're unclear what may happen at 12 noon local time. What we do know is that there has been a standoff between police and this suspect in the shooting deaths of 4 people on Monday at a Jewish school. That started about 3:30 a.m. local time, and right now it is 11:20 local time right now. So it's a considerable amount of hours that have taken place there in a neighborhood in southwest France. There had been talk about the gunman, or the suspect, I should say, being affiliated to a banned group known as the Fozan Aliza. We want to find out more about this group that officials say, as we were saying, the suspect belongs to. Sajan Gohal is the Director of International Security with the Asia Pacific Foundation. He joins us now here in the studio. Sajan, thank you very much for being with us. What do we know about Fozan Aliza?
In translation, it means Knights of Glory. They're an Islamist group, a movement that have been trying to recruit French nationals, predominantly of North African origin, to travel to Pakistan, Afghanistan for terrorist training. They haven't been known in the past for being directly involved in acts of terrorism, but earlier this year, they actually issued a statement on their Facebook page which spoke about attacking Americans, Jews, and French soldiers. It's perhaps chilling that we've seen many attacks recently on French soldiers and also on...
Appreciate that. You're watching World One live from London. We will take you live to Jerusalem, to the funerals. Our top story in the police hunt for a gunman in Toulouse, southwestern France, who's suspected of carrying out a series of recent deadly shootings. Israel has been drawn into the events as 3 children and a rabbi from a Jewish school were among those he shot and killed. CNN's senior international correspondent Matthew Chance joins us now live from Jerusalem, where the funerals of the 4 victims have been taking place. Matthew.
Monita, thanks very much. That's right. The very emotional scenes at the main cemetery in Jerusalem.
Thank you, Matthew Chance there in Jerusalem. Now, the Interior Minister has said that Mohammed Mira, the man police suspect murdered the 4 people at a Jewish school on Monday, has now stopped negotiating with police. CNN's Diana Magne is at the scene in Toulouse. She joins us now live with more on that. Have there been any updates from the scene, Diana? Diana, thank you. Diana Magne there in Toulouse. We want to switch gears now and talk about Britain's budget, set to unveil for the coming financial year. Within the next hour, the Finance Minister, George Osborne, will announce the government's plans for tax, borrowing and spending and give an update on the state of the economy. Many of the details of the plan have already been reported in the British media, which say they've received semi-official leaks. They include tax cuts for low and middle income earners, and that could result in 2 million more people paying no income tax at all. This now from outside the Houses of Parliament to talk us through the details. And Jim, it seems as though this isn't all bad news, though.
Well, you know, I think it's George Osborne, the finance minister, will giveth and he'll taketh away. And the question really is, how much does he take away from the rich?
Simply the best. Barcelona superstar Lionel Messi reached another career milestone on Tuesday night, and Pedro Pinto is here to talk about that. Don't worry, I will not break out into a Tina Turner song.
Okay, yeah, simply the best. You're right. Well, you know, mesmerizing, magical, masterful. We're running out of adjectives. And the Premier League has said, Monita, that they will look at the process of medical tests for all players in the coming weeks.
Something's good come out of it.
Yeah, and it's great to see him doing well.
Pedro, thank you very much. We'll be right back. Stay with us. Welcome back. This is World One, live from London. We are approaching almost 7 a.m. in New York. It's almost midday in Berlin, and it's almost 8 p.m. for you in Tokyo. Reservoirs and rivers are at all-time low in parts of Spain after one of the driest winters in decades. Meteorologist Mar21 is at the World Weather Center with word of some beneficial rain falling there right now.
Yeah, you know, Monita, this is good news. A little area of low pressure snuck in there through the Iberian Peninsula, but you know, enjoy the warm, quiet weather. But when the rain comes, we're going to welcome it.
Oh, you could go dancing out in the rain. That'll be good
there you
too,
go.
Mari. Thank you very much. You are watching World One, live from London. I'm Monita. Rajpal, do stay with us. We'll be bringing you more on the story unfolding in France in just a moment.